Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video. This one is the 200th Commodore 64 game I have covered. So this one is Citadel, which was released by Electric Dreams in 1989, written by Martin Walker. At the very least, the music should give away that he contributed to that. The music has Martin Walker written all over it, which is not a bad thing at all. Now, well, what you're seeing here on the title page is a bit of a run through as to what each of the different robots within the game are and what they do, which is quite handy for me actually, because I do have a habit of forgetting. I haven't come across any of these things, the aggressors. They actually come a lot later than or the point that I can get to. I can't get very far in this game. I've never got to level 3 yet. I did not have this game back in the day. I only discovered it, well, I first became aware of it a couple of years ago when Gans Teeth did a review of this one, and it looked like it was right up my street. And considering that Martin Walker is the man behind Hunter's Moon, that's not all that surprising. In fact, this game does have a few things in common with Hunter's Moon. So, well, let's get a game underway anyway. So, the idea is to get through each of these city complexes. There are 8 in total, and each complex has like 2 floors, 2 levels. So, you are then this droid here, and you can only move in horizontal or vertical. You can't move diagonally, and your movements can be from square to square, and while moving you can fire in any direction, but sometimes it's not a good idea to do that, because this is a game that does require some pretty precise movements, so you do need to occasionally just go along one square at a time. But while you are firing, if you then move, you keep on moving and you do not stop until you hit a wall. So you've got to be a bit careful when you're doing that. Now, you've already seen I've destroyed what appeared there. There are these various squares which work as traps, so I've just sprung another one. Now, that one that I sprung there will fire in 4 directions along the horizontal and the vertical. So we'll go through there quickly, avoid his fire. Of course, now that we're at the diagonal, he still won't fire, but I'm able to destroy him. Now, I play this game at quite a slow pace because it does need a bit of thought behind what you're doing. It's not necessary to play it at the pace that I do, but sometimes it's worth taking your time. In fact, more often than not, it's worth taking your time. If I go to the right, you'll see there's that laser barrier there, which will destroy me if I touch it. But this thing next to me here is a switch, and if you double tap the fire button and then hold the fire button down the second time, you then have this control square which you move to the switch, release the switch, and that beam gets switched off. Now the traps are always sprung by your proximity to them. If the traps are useful, then they will only open when you are right next to them, 1 square away. If the traps reveal things that are going to attack you, then you can be 2 squares away and they'll spring. Sometimes you can be even further away than that. Now this thing below me here is an energy refill. You look across the top there, you'll see that my energy bar to the right of where it says Citadel, another game that is constantly reminding me what the fucking game's called. I rather fucked up there. So if the square reveals that like damaged crater there, then it's out of action. It's not going to spring anything else. If you destroy it and it reveals completely black empty square, it means that another robot will come through it, so you don't want to be standing over the top of it. Now this one here above me, with we can see it's showing F1 in the display within my robot. That tells me it's a weapon pod, and it activates firing mode 1, which is a rapid fire. You start off at firing mode 0. Now every time you pick up a weapon pod, it uses up energy, so it would have been a good idea for me to save that energy refill for a bit later. Right, I don't want to trigger those things just yet. Can't help but trigger that one. All they do, those things, they'll follow you around, but that's all they'll do. But as you see, they can and will get in the way. When they do, they're a bit of a pain in the arse. So that's that one destroyed. Get out of the fucking way, you lot. I could really do with an energy refill, but I doubt I'm going to get one. So I've got all these bloody things wandering around here and blocking me. Anyway, I can now make progress a bit faster. So we get to lift. This takes you to the next level within this complex. Okay, it looks like that next square is going to be useful, yeah, so that's the switch that turns off that beam. That is an energy refill, which I could do. Trying to explain this game is not as simple as it may seem. It's not an easy game by any stretch. I think that's an energy refill, yes, but I can't use it because I still have full energy. So if I lose any energy, I've got that there just in case. I'm going to lose quite a bit of energy around here, I think. Fuck off. This I think is another weapon. It's a faster firing weapon, but yeah, made another fuck up of that. Every time you lose a life, it takes you back to the last lift entry point. Oh, fuck's sake, I wasn't watching what I was doing. Those things are assassins, they will just keep trying to ram you. They are a real pain in the arse, actually. So I didn't do myself any favours there. I do sometimes get a bit lost while playing this. Alright, so take him out. That okay, another energy refill. That's quite handy. I'll have you. Right, well, this area is no good to me, really. Alright, so get to that lift there. That switch will turn off a beam that I've not yet seen. That is another weapon. It's not the one I really wanted, but okay, so it's turned off that one. Well, that's not too bad. Right, so I can take that. That's given me two-way fire. Yep. And then we'll refill the energy after getting that one, and take the lift back up to this area here. And if memory serves, I am getting somewhat close to the end of this level. Alright, so I need to switch off to that. That's another energy refill, yep. Fuck it. Alright, so activate that switch and we'll get that weapon pod. That's now got me into firing mode 4. This one is quite handy because now it's quite a long range and quite fast firing. Right, this takes us to the last section. I've just got an extra life, I think. That's another switch that I need to disable. Alright, so now I need to destroy that fucker. This here is the exit of the level. That's this complex done. Got through from one end to the other. So now we enter the armour complex then, which I have never been able to get through. It is quite handy that I still have this particular weapon. It certainly helps, but I'm still not going to get through it, and as it is, I've just lost it. I think you can only keep the new weapons for a limited amount of time. and my time has already run out. So I think that's an energy refill, is it? Yeah. Now I'm already at full energy, so I don't need to worry about that too much. Okay, I could do with it now. Yeah. Fuckers fire in all directions. Now I do need that. There we go. Right. That gets me firing mode 3, which is this sort of weird, sort of scatter shot here. So we'll refill my energy again. Deactivate that, but I think we'll head through here. So now at the very least, if I lose a life, I will it will take me back to that spot, so I should be okay. Right, so that's another firing mode. That's only firing mode 1. I don't want that. I quite like the one I've got, so that's as far as I can go here, so we'll head back down. Make our way along here. Oh, bollocks. Alright. No, I'm not going to do that yet. I'll get my energy back up. Bollocks. Fucking waste it. So now I've got the barrier down. Alright, now I will use that, and now I have taken control of this enemy droid here. If I move him into position, and hopefully he will now stay there. Oh fucking hell, I was getting too close to that barrier, so I made a bit of a fuck up of that. Actually, what I'm going to do now is go back up to the other level and get that other weapon pod. There you go. Right. So, although it's not the best weapon I could have, it's better than the stock one. Okay, oh, I'm not doing too well here. Alright, so my energy is now very, very low. I'm fucked no matter what I do now. Yeah. Right, so last life. Now I really don't have much of a chance because I've got these fuckers coming along everywhere and they're all firing at me as soon as they appear. Right, so if that, yeah, I don't have the energy to pick that up, so I'm a bit fucked. I can't do anything. Right, so taken out 1, 2. Oh, Jesus Christ. So take off that switch. Actually, we'll go through here, see what's around, just in case I can pick up something of use, an energy refill or something, or get myself killed. So, well, there you go. So, that's how to play the game not very well. Right, well, I'll get another game underway and I'll explain a bit more of it, while also getting the review underway. So here we go. So enter the Alien City complex again. Well, let's start off with the easy stuff to cover. In terms of graphics, the game I think is superb. The graphics look great. They look nicely metallic in you know, when the metallic levels come along. And I mean, yeah, the design of the various robots and the various traps and everything else, they all look good. So yeah, graphically I think the game is a winner, no doubt about that. Audio, the music is superb. Again, no surprise there. Martin Walker's music is always great. The sound effects for the most part I think are really good, but that explosion there, I'm not so keen on the sound effects of, well, the explosions in general, because, well, it's a bit of a stupid reason, I freely admit it. They remind me of the explosions from Cauldron. I think they sound very similar. And because Cauldron is a very sort of like, you know, cartoony graphics. So yeah, this is certainly not a Cauldron-esque game. So, don't need that yet. So I think having like Cauldron-like you know, explosions, Cauldron-like sound effects doesn't really work. Oh, fucking hell, I'm making a right fuck up of this. And those things are constantly respawning, so yeah, I really did not want to do that. Now I do want that. There is another aspect to the you know, using the controller that I've been using to take over or to activate switches and to pick up weapons and energy refills, and I also showed that you can also take over the droids there. You can also take over traps to stop them firing at you. As I say, each time you do that, it's not how I plan to do that, but yeah, each time you take over a trap or, you know, an enemy robot or anything like that, it uses up energy. Now, thankfully, unlike some games where you can do that, if you're going to lose so much energy that it will kill you, it won't let you do the actual movement. It won't. So you can't kill yourself by taking, you know, a new weapon or anything like that, which I am quite okay with. Makes a pleasant change. There are a lot of games that they think it's great to, you know, keep you. Can I take that? Yes. Yeah, there are plenty of games where they think it's a great idea to sort of allow you to get an extra weapon or something, or do something that would cause you to lose energy, and for you to still be destroyed as a result, which I think is a fucking abysmal design choice, but plenty of them do it. So, I mean, yeah, if I show you here, right, we'll take over that trap. See, so now that trap won't fire at me, but the one next to it will. So, I think now that I've lost a life, that trap is no longer under my control. Fucking hell, would it if I pressed the right fucking button? Or the right key? So yeah, that trap will now fire at me again. If you've taken control of a trap, you can't destroy it. It can be destroyed by, you know, the other robots and that in the area, but not by you. Which again is quite handy, so it means that fuck me, did I need that? Right, let's head to the last part. Oh, you fuck. Now I'm gonna have a real fucking headache now because of that fucker. Oh well. So there you go, got through the first level again. So anyway, I've covered graphics and audio. What about the gameplay? It's certainly more my sort of shoot 'em up than, you know, the likes of Armalite and Co. And I do think it's a good game. You know, I certainly can't sit here and say no, I don't rate it. Yes, I do rate it. It's a decent shooter. So I think it's a good game. I don't think it's a great game. There is something not quite there that makes it great. I mean, in order for me to say a game is great, I would have to be able to rate it at least 9 out of 10. I can't rate this game 9 out of 10, but like I say, it is close. So I would score this 8.5 out of 10. So I'm I'm not joking when I say it's close. It really is. But fuck off. So the fact that it's not, you know, super fast paced, it does give you the chance to think about what you're doing, largely because you have to think about what you're doing. You can't just charge in. The other thing is, it's you don't have to play it as conservatively as I do. I do sort of, you know, make my way rather slowly around, and so I make the game look a lot slower paced than it actually is. You could, if you really wanted to, try, you know, tearing along, doing everything, you know, blowing up everything and what have you, but as you may have seen in towards the end of my first go, sometimes doing that results in you taking a few hits that you really don't want to have to be dealing with, rather like now. Fuck off. I think that's an energy refill, yeah, which I needed and then completely wasted again. That was actually quite handy having him there. Don't want him hanging around though. That's not a good strategy, but well, I've got a little way. Oh yes, and now I can get this weapon here. So I've now have firing mode 3. And now, because I'm trying to race through here again, I'm taking a lot of hits and I'm badly damaged again already. Yeah, did take that out. That is firing mode, which one? 2. Don't need you. I'm okay with firing mode 3 at the moment. Aye. Oh, you fucking... Right, now I am going to have a bit of trouble here because I'm down to yeah, firing mode 0 and I'm walking into every shot that I encounter. So yeah, I'm already dead. I've only just got across that region. Alright, let's see what's down here. Don't think I'm really going to live long enough to do too much exploring. Oh yeah, those two fuckers blow me up the instant they see me. And so does that other fucker there, so... Okay. Get out of there. Let's carry on along here. Oh, it's just got an extra life. That's what I will fucking need. Oh, shit. Where is that switch? switch. Oh, is it here? Yes. Oh, you fucker. Way too fucking slow. But thankfully, I came out of that elevator right by this area, so... Alright, well, that's going to keep respawning there, so let's get out of there and see what we have here. What is that? Another firing mode. Must be the switch for, yep, up here. Alright, well this is definitely my last life. I'm not going to get any further than this. Oh, fucking yes. Three-way fire. Oh, fuck it. Let's take a look at what's down here. Right, okay. That is quite handy. So, another switch disabled. I don't know where. Okay, so it looks like I have to make my way along here, which means that it's going to be full of these fuckers. Fire mode 4, very useful. And that is an energy refill, which is extremely useful as well. But there's a switch that I haven't deactivated. Where the fuck is it? Maybe it's up around here. Nope. So, where is the switch then for this fucking thing? I didn't know that he could still destroy me through that barrier. Okay, well, I've got to find another switch to open. It's not here. Okay, let's go back down this way. Oh, you... In fact, I have a horrible feeling I had just found a way out of that level. Oh well. So there you go, that is a Citadel. Very much another thinking man's shoot 'em up, which is a good thing in my books. It is a decent game. I say it's not quite a great game, but it is really good. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for that one. It's not bad at all. That brings this review to an end, and we will see you at the next one.